11,000 bats will fly out over the space of 20-25 minutes, and people look up for the first time and go, wow, wow, does that happen every night?
We're not far off the middle of the Two Valley Trails section through the Walleye Creek Valley. It walks through bushland for about 4.5 kilometres, goes from Bexley North up that end through to Torella and then on to Tempe. And then you can turn up the Cooks River and go for another 8.5 kilometres in the inner city.
The grey-headed flying foxes first arrived in the valley in around June 2007 and set up a really small camp. They're a nocturnal animal, which means they tend to sleep or socialise during the day, and they go out at night to feed. And they'll fly up to 25 kilometres out in the evening and then 25 kilometres back in search of food. They're very sociable animals. If you go into a flying fox camp, particularly before they're just about to fly out for the evening, when they're rousing from their sleep. And they apparently have quite a range of vocalisations. There are researchers who think they perhaps have more than 40 different types of calls. Typically the flying fox camps are found in suitable vegetation, so they need to have the right structure, so decent sized trees for them to hang into. They're not going to hang from shrubs. They also probably need a site that's going to remain cool enough, and that's becoming an issue with climate change, and generally near water, so a stream or a creek or some sort of river, because they do need to drink, particularly when it's been a hot day, and so they need a water body where they can actually fly down and they dip their chest in the water, and then they land in a tree and then they lick their chest. That's how they drink. They've set up camp in a lot of urban areas because their habitat outside cities, there's been a great loss of that habitat. And urban areas actually can provide some of the things they need, particularly plants, because there's been a lot of planting of native species in people's gardens and in parks. So this camp it's remarkable because we're only 2 train stops from the international airport. You know, as we stand here, we can hear the trains. So the airport's just, within a few kilometres of where we are, and we have this amazing bushland and this amazing flying fox colony.
It's a miracle of retention. We still have this wonderful bushland that gives us some idea of what the whole of this area of Sydney looked like historically.
We've done a bit of public education. We also hold an annual bat picnic, a sort of evening picnic where we have kids' activities and people dress up as flying foxes or other bats, and they get to watch the fly out of the bats. And when I'm talking about the fly out, I'm talking about this amazing exit from their camp in the evening when en masse 11,000 bats will fly out over the space of 20-25 minutes. And so people get to see this, and sometimes it's amazing at the bat picnic because people look up for the first time and go, wow, wow, does that happen every night? Given they've now moved to a lot of urban areas in Brisbane and Melbourne and Sydney and Adelaide, it's not that hard probably to find a camp. The main thing is you can just observe quietly, don't make noise. Remember, that's their bedroom they're in. They're trying to sleep sometimes or just have a chat to someone. And I think just also learn a bit about them and try and help dispel the sort of the bad press that they get, and realise that they're actually really important pollinators. They're really important in terms of dispersing pollen and seed up and down the coast through our forests, our rainforests and our eucalypt forests. To actually see the wonderful David Attenborough moment, as we call it, is going out at dusk, or you can look at them during the day when they're either sleeping or maybe socialising. But if you go just before dusk and watch them as they're stirring, and then you watch the fly out, that's one of the great sights. You can watch them at dawn, but you need to be able to get up very early for that, and I've only done that a few times.